Welcome to Nisreen's Art World. I'm Nisreen, a dancer and a visual artist with a background in graphic art and psychology, currently based in the US. This podcast is your gateway to a creative fusion of ideas where I explore everything from book reviews to dance analysis, all through an artistic lens in both English and Japanese. Whether you're here for inspiration, insight, or a fresh perspective, I'm glad you're joining me on this journey. Hello, this is Nisreen. Welcome to episode 7 of season 3. It's lovely to be speaking with you again. Today, I want to talk about the new BBC TV series, Riot Women. It came out last month, and I have to confess, I watched all 6 episodes in one go. I was completely glued to the screen. The series follows 5 women, mostly in their 40s and 50s, who form a punk rock band in order to reclaim their voices. It's written by the brilliant Sally Wainwright, so of course it's sharp, emotional, and funny. Now, as I was watching it, I kept thinking, why does this feel familiar? And then it hit me. It reminded me of Nana, the classic Japanese manga from the 2000s by Ai Yazawa. I actually talked about Nana in a previous episode. You might think that 2 stories couldn't be more different. 2 young women in Tokyo versus middle-aged women in Britain. But surprisingly, there are some striking parallels. So today, I'm going to share 5 reasons why Nana readers should watch Riot Women and why Riot Women fans might enjoy Nana. There will be spoilers, so feel free to come back later if you need to. 1. Punk rocks. Riot Women is built around punk music. The musical numbers are not only fun and energetic, they let the characters release raw emotions. Anger, frustration, the desire to be taken seriously. In the song Seeing Red, they even sing openly about menopause, asking other people listening, "Are you uncomfortable?" That's pure punk, challenging social norms. This reminded me instantly of Nana Osaki from Nana. For her, punk rock isn't just a genre, it's a way of living. From performing as a vocalist of a rock band to wearing Vivienne Westwood and even putting a padlock necklace on her boyfriend, she's fully immersed in punk culture. It's her identity, her fuel, her sense of self. 2. Girl crush. Let's talk about Kitty, the lead vocalist in Riot Women and an instant girl crush. Rosalie Craig gives such a powerful performance in this role. Kitty is in her early 40s, rough around the edges, from a gang family, has a criminal record, etc., etc., but her voice is extraordinary. Casting a professionally trained singer like Craig creates a clear contrast with the other band members who are meant to be proper beginners at making music. And fun fact, the actresses actually learned their instruments as they were filming, which makes the whole thing even more charming. Beth, a 59-year-old teacher who writes songs with Kitty, is another key character. She first sees Kitty singing in a karaoke bar and immediately recognizes her talent. From then on, she believes in Kitty, despite her questionable reputation. In Beth's monotonous life, the rock band and Kitty give her more than just inspiration. They give her hope and a renewed sense of purpose. Although Nana Osaki is far more conventionally a good girl, the way she bonds with the other heroine, Hachi, parallels how Kitty and Beth instantly connect. For her friend Hachi, who lacks purpose in life, Nana the rock singer makes her heart beat again. Even Hachi's boyfriend gets jealous of Nana at one point. The difference is that in Nana, Hachi's admiration has a slight homoerotic undertone, while in Riot Women, both Beth and Kitty make it clear that their relationship is platonic. And honestly, I like that. We don't celebrate adult friendships enough. Everything is always framed romantically, and Riot Women gives friendship the attention it deserves. 3. Maternal love. Now, earlier I said Kitty saves Beth's life, but Beth saves Kitty's as well. Beth is the first person who has treated Kitty as a human being. Beth's trust and kindness give Kitty the courage to break the destructive patterns she's stuck in. She's endured sexual violence, was tossed aside by her family, and lost her mother at a young age. This reminds me of an article by an NGO founder who works with women in difficult situations. She wrote that it's not helpful when people casually tell these women to, quote unquote, be kind to themselves, because how could they know how to if nobody has ever been kind to them? The way Beth welcomes Kitty into her home, despite all the risks, also reminded me of Bishop Muriel treating Jean Valjean with love and compassion in Les Miserables, giving him the chance to start anew. That's not to say Beth is a saint. I loved her even more when she established a boundary with Kitty, and Kitty wholeheartedly apologized, trying to mend the damage she had done. I appreciated this because other feminist films have disappointed me by failing to show characters apologizing when necessary. Frankly, there is something motherly about the way Beth treats Kitty, not just because she's older, but because she offers a warmth Kitty has never known. This also correlates with Nana Osaki, who was abandoned by her single mother and has been lonely her entire life. She finds a deep sense of peace in her interactions with Hachi, who grew up in a warm, loving household. Even though Hachi and Nana are the same age, Hachi shows affection in a nurturing way, cooking for Nana, cheering up the band members, and later, when she becomes pregnant, discovering a maternal strength she didn't know she had. 4. Aging for women. As mentioned earlier, Riot Women is predominantly about middle-aged women. It portrays bodily changes such as menopause, as well as the psychological effects of hormonal changes. Given that suicide rates among women between their late 40s and late 50s are particularly high, this serious portrayal of mental health issues rings painfully true. The story also poignantly depicts societal expectations placed on older women. Small details, such as Beth's son not paying attention to her messages or not prioritizing time with her, feel very realistic. Even more so because he genuinely loves Beth and doesn't realize he's being thoughtless. It also made me reflect on myself and how I treat my own mother. However, the series is not purely negative about women's aging. For instance, Holly, a retired police officer, talks back to a younger man who suggests that her refusal to cater to his niche sexual fetish is a quote-unquote generational thing. She replies, quote, "Women of a certain age have outgrown the need to pretend to like something that, in fact, they don't like doing at all," unquote. It's not only hilarious, but refreshing to see him actually listen and ask, well, what do you want then? Which leads to the resumption of the interrupted affair. I imagine it may be eye-opening for young women like Hachi to watch Riot Women, women who spend so much energy catering to what men like. Nana, in contrast, captures the essence of youth. It represents not only possibility, but also uncertainty, inexperience, and insecurity, which repeatedly trip up the characters. Hachi hops between jobs and often hates herself. By comparing two stories, you begin to see both the benefits and challenges of aging for women. 5. A source of inspiration. Riot Women draws inspirations from real social issues in Britain. Racism and sexism in the police force, financial strain from caring for aging parents, and the emotional labor women carry throughout their lives. These details keep the show grounded, even when the plot gets melodramatic. Nana, meanwhile, was heavily influenced by British punk culture, the music, the fashion, the energy. However, I don't think most Japanese readers in the 2000s were paying attention to those references. When the live-action film came out, I was so disappointed. The music didn't sound punk at all. So, if you're a Nana fan, Riot Women might give you a much clearer picture of the musical world that inspired Ai Yazawa. Overall, Riot Women is a story that delves into different aspects of aging for women and celebrates the power of punk music and female friendship. The love for punk and the dynamic in which one woman inspires another with a talent while finding peace in the other's maternal warmth resembles Nana in some ways, though in a completely different cultural context and life stage. I hope Nana readers will watch Riot Women too, and vice versa. By the way, if you are new to Nana, please start with the original manga first, not the anime or the live-action film. How did you find today's episode? I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a review or comment. Liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel will be more than welcome. There's also a Japanese version of this episode. Please check the link in the description if you are a Japanese speaker or learner. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye for now.